The beginning of the parsha starts with Kiteitzei lamilchama loivecha, when you go forth to war upon your enemies. When the Son Hashem Elokecha biyodecha, and God will give you those enemies in your hand, in other words, make you victorious. V'shoviso shivyoy, and you will take captives. Says the Torah, among the captives could also be v'roise b'shivyo eishes yefastaya. You will see among the captives a beautiful woman, v'choshaktu ba, and you will desire her. Says the Torah, you can have her, if you want to take her as a wife, it's possible, but there's all kinds of conditions. You have to wait 30 days, you have to give her enough time to mourn for her family, you have to see her not in a glorious presentation as she was presenting herself during the wartime, which the women used to do then so as to entice the soldiers. Instead of battling, they should be attracted to the women. So the Torah says over here that it's possible, and as Rashi says, Dibur Torah keneged Sahara. Torah is speaking to the evil base desire of the person. Because if the Torah is going to say no completely, he's going to sin. You give him, say, you can do it, but relax a little bit, then eventually he's going to come to his senses and realize that this woman is not for him anyway. But the Baal Shem Tov says something very interesting on this concept. V'shaviso shivyoy. You will take from your enemy, you will take captives. Even from your enemies, whom you're going out to battle, there is something you can gain from, something you can glean from, something you can learn from. From any situation, even from an adverse situation, we must and can learn something positive in our service of Hashem. Which just brings to mind what the Rebbe brings in Hayom Yom, that Rabbi Zushe of Anipoli, famous student of the Maggid of Mezrich, once said that even from a thief one can learn something. And in fact he says we can learn 7 things, 7 important messages one can learn from a thief in our service, in our relationship of Hashem. And he goes on to enumerate them. Says the first thing, whatever the thief does, he keeps to himself. He's discreet. He's not flaunting his profession. He's not telling the whole world how great a thief he is. Same thing is we have to realize that when we come to the service of Hashem, let's not brag about our accomplishments. Let's be discreet. Then he says, second thing, he's fearless. He's willing to take risks to achieve his goal. He realizes that he's endangering himself. Nevertheless, he has a goal, he wants to do it. In other words, even when things are difficult, we should remain steadfast in our emunah, in our faith, and go ahead and do what we have to. Third thing he says, he doesn't distinguish between major and minor things. Takes equally exacting care of each and every detail. He doesn't overlook anything. The big events, the small events, how to break in, how to come out, and what happens in case something happens in between. He plans meticulously. Every minute detail is important. In Torah mitzvahs, we have to realize every minute detail in Torah is in mitzvahs. And further, he invests great effort in what does. It's not an easy job. It's a tough one. And he invests himself. Yes, Yiddishkeit is not easy, but he invests all the effort. He's swift. He's eager and willing. Discreet, convicted, committed, but also he acts with swiftness, with eagerness. Comes to do a mitzvah, we have to be eager to do it, not lackadaisical. He's always optimistic. He certainly will succeed. He goes into his profession. He goes into his job being 100% certain he will succeed. We go into our Yiddishkeit, our Torah mitzvahs, we have to go in with the conviction we will succeed. We're going to have the blessing of Hashem and to be successful. And finally he says, if he fails one time, he doesn't give up. He tries again. And then again. Says Rabbi Zushe, these are the 7 things that we can learn even from a thief. V'shaviso shivyoy. Take captives. Something good, learn from it. Internalize it. Live accordingly. And do it. Yes, Rabbeinu Shalom, we're doing like the thief. We've been asking again and again and again for 2,000 years for the Gula. But we're asking again. We don't tire from asking because we are certain we're going to get the Gula right now.